You made that look easy. This is a day's work for you. This ain't no big deal, man. But look at these freaking rear wheels, dude. They're so wide.
Got most of the parts.
That's not great. And I think we're about ready to get this thing out of here. Somebody beat the heck out of this thing.
Oh yeah.
Morning, y'all. Welcome back to another video. We're out here at my buddy Chris's house where I like to store a lot of my stuff. I've got my old 240 out here and there's my trailer over there. So I've had this little car here for a little while. It was sort of a barn find. I got it from the south side of San Antonio. It's a bit of a time capsule. Let me show you around the car a little bit. So this 240 has a S13 SR20 DET in it. It's mostly all stock, aside from the aftermarket radiator and the Godspeed intercooler. We got some Samco hoses, a little Apex air filter, some type of aftermarket blow-off valve, little engine damper, a nice Nismo strut bar there. But outside of that, the engine's completely stock. So after I bought this car, I ran through it, kind of got it running a little bit, and changed the oil. I didn't really do a whole lot to it, just put some new plugs in it. I pulled the valve cover off and got oil flowing through all the squirters for the cams, make sure oil was flowing through it. You know, it ran great. Cruised it around like that for a little while. And just sort of enjoyed the car. This thing was a bit of an impulse buy. I didn't really have any intention of picking up an S13, especially one with an SR20, but here we are. I have this thing. It also has full AC, which is kind of cool. Sort of rare on these older cars, especially one with an SR20. But I got this thing all running, kind of drove it around stock for a little while, and then I ran through it and put all new suspension on it. I mean, I did a ton of work to the chassis of this thing. Some cheap coilovers, some cheap adjustable arms. We've got some Project Moo e-brake pads. Replaced all the bushings in the spindle with polyurethane bushings, as well as the rear lower control arms. They have poly bushings. And then I did solid bushings on the subframe itself. And I also put a GK Tech subframe reinforcement kit on this thing, just kind of stiffen everything up. And then in the front, I rebuilt the steering rack, I modified the knuckles, I made my own little power brace, and that was pretty much it for the front. And then I added some 40mm fiberglass front fenders. I've got a little body kit. We got some 50 or 55mm rear overs. The back of this thing is packed full of stuff. Got the front bumper, the OEM fenders, but the inside of this thing's really clean. It's a solid little car. I forgot to mention I also put a 4.6 final drive. It also has a veil side exhaust, which is pretty cool. So I took this thing to a local drift event, and in typical fashion, I got lost in the sauce, and I beat the hell out of it. Until it finally blew the head gasket or something. It was poofing out white smoke and not running really great. And since then, I've just parked this thing out in the woods and just left it in this state. So our plan for today is to pull that SR out of this car, tear it apart, see what we got to do to fix it, do a quick and dirty rebuild on it, get this thing back on the road and running. I'd like to throw a coat of paint on the outside. You know, we've got some pretty cool Japanese wheels on the front. These are Origin DNA 01s, 17 by 9.5 plus 15. And right now it doesn't have any wheels on the back, but I like to run an 18 by 9.5, like a plus 12 or a plus 15 in the rear with like a 235/40 square all the way around tire. Oh yeah. Also has a 180SX center garnish for you JDM fanboys. It's kind of cool, I guess. And my buddy Nick's SR20 sticker. Like I said, we're out here at my buddy Chris's house, aka Branscombe Ranch. Since I left this car sitting here, Chris needed a new rack for his S13, so he stole the rack out of this car. So this thing currently doesn't have any working steering, and we got to get this car over to the shop so we can pull the engine out of it. So what our plan is to hook it up here to this Bobcat, pick the front end up, and drag it about 100 yards over there to the shed so we can start yanking this buddy out of here. All right, y'all remember Chris? We're gonna jack this thing up, toss some wheels on the back of this thing, and like I said, hook it up to this Bobcat, pick up the front, and drag it out of this wooded grave that we've got it in. Okay, we got her sitting on the ground now with all 4 wheels, and we're trying to conjure up a plan of how we can connect the front of this bucket to this car. And the best thing we can come up with is let all the coolant drain out of here, give it back to Mother Earth, pull the radiator out, and then we can tie down, if you can see it too well there, but right about there is a power brace I mentioned that I made. I think we're gonna toss a strap around that and then just pull up out of there. Probably take this hood off too to get it out of the way. Bring them out here one time, you know, put them on and I'm out here anytime. Okay, we got the radiator pulled out of here. We got this strap all rigged up. Chris is ready to go on the Bobcat. Here we go. I think you're good.
Hey, take the plastic off that steering rack and shove it down in that air intake so nothing dirt.
This?
Yeah, stuff is dirt and stuff is falling. There we go.
You want to grab it again? All right, we got her over here. You made that look easy. Now we just got to push this puppy up here a little bit more so we can jack the front up, start pulling the engine out. Okay, we got the car up in here. I just wanted to show this off to you guys. Check out Chris's little trike project he's got going. Got his little jig made and the main part of the frame started. But look at these freaking rear wheels, dude. They're so wide. Do you have the engine for it yet or no?
The whole thing about it is to have a Predator Ghost, which has about 10 horsepower versus 6.5.
Okay.
What the original Predator does.
Yeah.
So they're built more for the racing type, so I'm going to get a racing type. But I've got a motor on an old mini bike to mock up to it. So
Nice. This thing will be super fun though when it's done, I bet.
I've got most of the parts, half the parts on order coming in the mail, and then I think there's still $300 or $400 left in hardware. And
Really?
yeah,
So it ain't cheap.
Build it by it's about $1,300-1,400 doing it yourself.
Well, buying one not that cheap though.
No, you to buy. So this is designed around the Garage Vlog. It's the same frame as the Garage Vlog trikes that they build.
Right.
Everything to the T, as close as these people could replicate.
Right.
I bought the plans off JD's Garage website, but to buy one of the Garage Vlog trikes, it's like almost like $5,000.
Dang.
Yeah.
So definitely worth it to DIY it.
100%. Oh yeah, 100%. You doing a third of the price.
Yeah.
But you just got to be able to. You got to have the right dies to bend the tubing.
Right, right. And you're just using this little affordable bender, which is just a $350 little hobby shop bender. But you're making it work though. I mean, the bends look pretty good.
Bends look good. The fitment looks amazing. I don't know if they're spot on right now. I don't have anything tacked in place, but they're close enough for TIG welding. So
yeah, for real. Well, heck yeah.
Hope to have it done before the New Year's knuckle up.
I'll take it to the drift event. Have like a little pit trike.
It's gonna be a pit trike.
That'd be cool.
So
You ready to knock this thing out?
I guess another SR.
Yeah, this is a day's work for you. This ain't no big deal, man. I'm a KA guy, so I'm not really as versed in SRs like Chris is, but I got the right man for the job. So let's get this thing jacked up and we'll start pulling the engine out. So here, let's do one of these. And there we are. Got this thing all up on here. We got some wheel stands in the front, some wheels under the back. We're about ready to start pulling this thing out. You know the deal. We got to unhook all the stuff on here, drop the drive shaft, pull the exhaust, drain all the fluids. And we've got this little, I don't know, let me show you here. Give you a little context. So we're working out of a 40-foot high cube container. If you're familiar with containers at all, they have these little latch points ever so often along the top here. So we got us a chain hooked up, and we're gonna connect a chain fall down to the engine. Once we've got everything unhooked on here, we'll start cranking on this thing and yank it out of here. We got Brighton here ready to help. What up, dog?
You gotta try.
Just don't even edit it at all. Let's see what this oil looks like.
It's an end mill, or mill.
Doesn't look too bad.
1958 Bridgeport.
All right, we're looking pretty good here. We got most everything unhooked. We're just waiting on Brighton. Pull that shifter out of there.
Hurry up every chance you get.
But I had the tools. We got the drive shaft out of the way. The transmission mount just ripped out. That's not great. But we got the jack supporting the transmission. And we think we have everything unhooked. I'm sure we forgot something. But we're just gonna toss a strap around that and get our chain fall hooked up. And we'll start yanking this bad boy out of here. All right, we're all set up here. I have been corrected. This is not a chain fall. This is a come along. We're all rigged up. We got everything unhooked. And I think we're about ready to get this thing out of here. So watch and enjoy. All right, there we have it. We got it out of there. Not without stressing the heck out of this roof. Was that bow always there?
It's always been there.
Okay.
It came with the deal.
But it was looking a little bit sketchy. But honestly, that's super impressive. That thing, that made it pretty easy, right? I mean, that really wasn't that bad.
It's done. It's pulled mine 2 or 3 times.
Well, heck yeah. All right. Yeah, you seem to trust it. So we're gonna pop this transmission off of here and get this thing bolted up to the engine stand. That way we can start tearing into this thing and seeing what we got going on. But it looks good. All right, we got this thing peeled off of here. We got some kind of a no-name clutch on here. So the last time I drove this car, the clutch pretty much completely exploded.
Show them the oil. Show them the oil you didn't change out of it.
Yeah, it looks like the rear main's leaking a little bit. Bell housing is pretty gross, as they are. We're gonna zip this thing off of here and get her on the stand. All right, we got this thing peeled apart. And this thing just fell out of the back of the flywheel. I don't know what it goes to. But you can see the pilot bushing is a little worn out. It's got ARP bolts. Or is that factory? I don't know. But look at all these hot spots. Look at all these hot spots. Yeah, not looking too great. Somebody beat the heck out of this thing. I wonder who. Disc is still in one piece, but it is pretty cooked. I don't know. This is definitely not OEM. Comment below what brand is a red pressure plate from 2010. I don't see any kind of.
Now.
Oh, what is this? Here, look. Seiko?
Seiko?
What is that? I've never heard of that brand. Definitely had a rear main leaking. Look at all that gunk built up. The whole back of the head's all disgusting.
You still got all the springs.
Yeah.
They haven't ejected themselves like the last one you had, no.
Run it, dude.
Put it back in.
All right, let's pull this flywheel off. Having some technical difficulties with the wheel on our engine stand here.
About that.
It's about the dumbest shit I've
Spin
ever
it.
seen. Holy
See, look, it helped.
God dang.
Where's the clip at?
We don't know. There you go. It's gone. It's shot off, didn't it? No, I got it right here. Here's the washer.
Oh, it goes.
Should we put some lube on there? Some grease or something?
Yeah, there's some actual grease right behind. See the old man's garage down there to the left of the sandpaper behind there. That thing.
I need to. Yeah, here you go.
Here, reach your pinky down in there.
Just smooth that on the end of it. Just rub it on there.
For you.
Get in there real nice and deep like. Oh yeah.
You're good at that.
I
There you
know.
go. Where'd you learn how to do that? Son, she's rolling good now, huh?
Oh yeah.
Let me try that. All right.
Alex has done hired him a videographer.
I got me a media guy now. We
He's
got
a
it.
professional. His name is Brighton. I don't know where the 1/2-inch bolt that I had.
Probably sitting on something that'll work. Look at all these we took out. It'll be perfect.
You ready?
Yeah. Oops, sorry. I'm about sick of having engines on engine stands.
I'm glad it's you, not me.
All right, there we go. We got it. How's it look? We got her though. Looks good. Got a nice empty engine bay. This would be a good time to pressure wash this thing and paint it or something.
I'll pressure wash it, but I'm not gonna paint
That
it.
is not going to happen.
I'll pressure wash it though.
Yeah,
I'm not
pressure
gonna
washing
paint
will happen, but it looks to be in pretty good shape. None of the frame rails are all bent up or anything, you know?
I mean, there's only so many bolts that are stripped.
Yeah, that's the real issue with this car is strip bolts. We found several. Between the flywheel bolts were all stripped. You can't see that now, it's all covered up, but almost every one of the flywheel bolts are stripped.
Damn, we didn't take that back cover off.
We're gonna sacrifice this old Seco clutch to Chris's scrap pile here. So we looked it up, and evidently Seco is like an old school, cheap knockoff eBay brand clutch. So it's kind of no wonder that thing burnt up. All right, we got this thing all pulled out. It's on the stand. Transmission's stuffed over here out of the way. That's all we're gonna do for today. Car looks good. I think now we're gonna take a little break and shoot this super sweet shotgun. What is that thing called, Brighton?
Saiga 12?
Saiga 12. So it's an AK platform 12 gauge. So let's see what this thing does. We're gonna let a little freedom ring.
Right.
I love that smell.
Oh yeah. No, you can't put this on your.
Nice.
Oops.
That ain't supposed to happen, is it?
It's definitely not.
Got some kick to it, dude. This thing don't weigh nothing.
I do feel BBs.
This thing's badass, dude. What the heck, dude? It's bad to the bone, dude.
Why won't that stay in?
Ejecto magazine, cuh. Feels good.
God damn, it's raining, baby.
What do you think of that, dude? That thing's wild.
That thing's badass, dude. That's crazy.
You look awesome, dude. This thing is cool as f. All right, we test fired it. It works.
Here, Alex, one more.
That it? That's it.
You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
That was perfect,
Hell
dude. That
yeah.
was super good.
That was really, really good.
I'm getting sprayed with beer
That
now.
was really, really good.
We
Alex,
only
go
got
ahead.
2 left, so everybody's gonna get in on the fun. You ready? Yep. All right. Come on, dude. I missed it. Can you believe that? All right. All right, Chris, you got to do this one.
All right.
I felt like a bad throw. Might have been my fault. I wasn't even looking. I didn't aim at all, dude. All right, Chris, you ready?
Yeah, here we are.
All right, let's go. Took you a couple, but you got her.
I got it for you at the ground.
right, y'all, that's gonna do it for this one. This is just part one. Stay tuned for part two. We'll start tearing into this thing, peel it apart, and see exactly what failed in it. We got the car stuffed over there. We'll get the hood tossed back on here. Let her live over here in the weeds for a few weeks. Now, I'm pretty sure it's just the head gasket on this thing, but the ring lands on the pistons might have let go, so I'm probably gonna buy new bearings, rings, head gasket, probably a gasket kit for the intake and exhaust, front and rear mains. We'll get this thing all put back together. Man, Chris's car is cool. Original two-tone. Got a couple battle scars on it, a couple scuffs here and there. She's a bad unit. Okay, that's gonna do it for this one, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Take care.